Everybody, this Jose with Oakland Latinos United, aka Oakland Latinos Unidos, on here with a new spill or a new video for you guys to enjoy. Well, if you probably haven't heard by now, um, rumor has been going around YouTube that Savage Studios, the YouTuber, was murdered yesterday. Apparently, I believe in San Bernardino County in some place called Yucca Valley. And apparently, what I'm hearing is that he got killed in front of a not a barbershop, a tattoo parlor or a tattoo shop called Smoking Guns Tattoos. I believe that's the name of it. I could be wrong. And I'm not sure if he was shot in the daytime, at nighttime, or how did it happen. I haven't got any details yet. Hopefully, something comes out. I looked up if there were any shootings in that area, but haven't been able to find nothing. But you never know. I'll give it till Monday. But apparently, according to Gunner and Flacco and a few other people, they claim that Savage Studio is dead, has passed away. And if he has indeed passed away, there's a few things that I want to tap into and speak on the whole situation. And it's interesting because I just made a video recently about YouTube content creators and how powerful our platforms can be and the stuff we put out there. And let's just face it, I know about Savage Studios probably since he first started coming out. And I know the dude, runs his mouth and bad mouths people, and he used to do too much, you feel me? And it looks like it could possibly have cotton up to him. You know what I mean? Was his death YouTube related? That I don't know. I can only speculate. But yeah, there's just so many things in this story that I want to talk about. So many points that it's not even funny because I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but in a way, it's kind of like a "I told you so" moment. You know what I mean? Like this could happen if you're out there starting problems with people and running your mouth and bad mouthing people and so forth. And we'll get into that. So Savage Studios, I believe his name is Michael Steven Segala, I think is his real name, from what I've been told. Um, I think he grew up in the San Fernando Valley in Pacoima area. According to what I've known, he was in prison. I'm not sure what he was in prison for. I don't know his backstory too much. And at some point while he was in prison, he dropped out of, I guess, the Sureños and became part of another organization called the 2-5 gang, allegedly, And I don't know too much about this, you know what I mean? I didn't even know 2-5 or what that was until really Savage Studios and the Black Sureño dude, what's his name? Um, Neil Azad started talking about that. Before that, I didn't, really know what it was because him and Neil Azad went at it a while back. And, Savage Studios has gone at it with a lot of people. The first time that I heard Savage Studios, I definitely, it was before COVID. It was probably 2019, possibly. And he was talking about prisons. It kind of, at the time, I didn't know too much about prison channels. I remember I had first watched American Cholo, then Big Herc. There weren't too many prison channels at the time. And I think I seen his channel. And I think when I first seen him, he kind of seemed level-headed. You know what I mean? I didn't know anything about his dropout status or any of that stuff. I didn't know anything about that at that time. And, and, the first times I heard him, he seemed kind of on the level. He was talking about like the consequences of going to jail, what could happen, and stuff like that. But as time went by, I started noticing he started going off the rails and just like, just talking mad stuff about people. He even went as far as saying, in his words, screw the Mexican Mafia, which is a big organization. You know what I mean? And those are just things you don't say. You know what I mean? You don't talk bad about an organization that allegedly is out there that's powerful, And he apologized for it, but I think the damage had been done. But it goes beyond that, you know what I mean? I mean, he just went off the rails. I remember he was like, talking bad about people. I'll take a fade with you. You know, he dropping his location. I remember he used to say, "I'm in Barstow. Come get me. Come see me." You know what I mean? And you know, I'm Mr. Hard. I'm Mr. Machista. I'm Superman. I'm untouchable. I'm bulletproof. You know what I mean? And after that, I really stopped watching him. It kind of turned me off because it just became like a glorification of nonsense. You know what I mean? And I just stopped watching him. And then I remember he went to jail, supposedly on some weird charges. Got arrested at Walmart or something like that. Then he got into the fight at a pier. I think it was in Huntington Beach in Orange County with some. I guess there were some Daniels or some gang members, and just a whole lot of mess. You know what I mean? The dude was very irresponsible in the way he would do things. The message he conveyed. You know what I mean? And I just, like I said, I stopped watching him. I think I do remember he was with a girl named Brittany when I first started watching him because he used to mention her. And I think she might have even used to come on, but I think they eventually broke up. And yeah, just a lot of things, you know. And you know, I think if I remember right, I even mentioned Savage Studios one time in a video a long time ago that I did about my take on prison genre videos when they first started coming out, even before Gunner, Comics Perspective, or any of that. I said something like, you know, I don't see nothing wrong with them as long as they don't glorify things. But I remember I specifically spoke on Savage Studios in that video, and I said something like Savage Studios' his problem is that he could have a good message, but at the same time, he tries too hard to prove how hard he is and how crazy he is and how down he was. You know, if he's supposedly not a gangbanger anymore, then, you know, leave that at the door. You know what I mean? Why put it out there like that? I think I said something like that. You know, but yeah, man, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about in the video I made not too long ago about there's consequences for your actions on YouTube. You know what I mean? If you're out there starting beef with people, if you're out there running your mouth, if you're out there, you know, acting like you're Mr. Superman, you're hella hard, you're crazy, no one can fade you or touch you. You know, screw these people, screw those people, even though those people can technically get you, you know what I mean? And, you know, if you want to play the gangster role, gangster stuff can happen. And, you know, like I said, if he is in fact dead, then it's bridge under the water. It's water under the bridge, and it's all irrelevant now. You know what I mean? Now, if he was murdered in front of a tattoo parlor, like they say, you know, one can only guess what it could be. Is it YouTube related? Is it gang related? Is it a robbery gone wrong? Is it a hit? Is it maybe some beef he had even outside of YouTube or gangs? We will never know, and it's up to the police to do their job to find out what really happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I just like I said, there's a lot, man. There's a lot that I want to say, you know, and it's just an example of what not to do on YouTube. Be responsible, man. Especially if you value your life. There's no reason to be starting beefs or dramas or I'm hard, I'm this and that. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. Because there could be, like I said, real time consequences. You know, just like the whole American Cholo no jumper thing, you know, the video being taken out of context, that could have created some real life consequences. You know, but Savage Studios, you know, he talked bad about a lot of people and started dramas with a lot of people out there. And unfortunately, it might have been his demise, you know. Now, you know, I can understand that maybe he was an angry young man, you know, gang related, maybe had a hard background, maybe came from a rough life. Like, again, I don't know his background. Maybe he held this deep anger towards the gang maybe he once belonged to, you know what I mean? But you know, sometimes that anger you got to put it in check because that will put you in check. You know what I mean? And I made a video about this a long time ago. It's interesting that I'm speaking on it now. And to be honest with you, that video might have been inspired by Savage Studios. Now that I think back on it, I made a video a long time ago called "The Anger Within," and I talked about how us, as especially black and brown men, we suffer from this anger. That sometimes we don't know how to control it, and it makes us do dumb things. And I think, yeah, Savage Studio definitely had that in him. That anger, that rage that he couldn't control, that would get him in trouble. You know, and you know, this is a reality check to a lot of YouTubers out there. I hope. You know what I mean? No matter who it be, I'm not calling no names, but no matter who it be out there, you have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful of your actions on YouTube, and you have to be careful with the way you do things, the way you word things. You know what I mean? You have to be careful not to start dramas or stir up the pot in anything, because it could hurt other people or it could hurt you. You know, unless you have a death wish, unless you're out there looking for problems, you know what I mean? There's no reason to go down this route. And really, that's all I have to say. It's just be safe. You know, be careful what you put out there, and be careful what kind of dramas you start or what kind of mess you talk out there. You know what I mean? Um, as far as Savage Studios, I've never personally had a problem with him. I've never talked to him. I didn't know him. I don't know his character. You know what I mean? I can't say he was good or bad because I don't know. I don't know him. I can only go by what I've seen on YouTube. And for all I know, maybe what was on YouTube could have been an act. I don't know because I don't know him. So I don't have no hatred towards the man, but I don't have no love towards the man because I don't know him. The only thing I can say, it's unfortunate. That's it. You know what I mean? That another young brown man went down a wrong path and it took him to a dark place in a wrong path. You feel me? And it goes over and over again with our people. I know he was recently, I believe one of his last interviews was with Flacco from Comics Perspective. He was on there, and I know that I did see some videos of him recently where he seemed a lot more calm, a lot more chill, a lot more collective. Even in the Flacco video, he seemed a lot more chill compared to how he used to be. Maybe he was changing a new leaf. Maybe he was finally waking up to the reality. But maybe he woke up once it was too late. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate if that is what happened. But all I can say is R.I.P. to Savage Studios. I have nothing against Homeboy. He never did nothing to me. He never talked bad about me, as far as I know. And I've never talked to him or nothing. And my condolences to his family and to his kids. Because he's not going to be around for his kids, which is unfortunate. It's a tragedy. But once again, you just have to watch out. What you say and what you do. And that's all I really have to say, man. This is Oakland Latinos United. Jose, over and out.